What's everyone saying? 11-2K here. Chelsea are Champions League winners. Wow, who would have thought? Who would have thought with the way the season started for Chelsea with Frank Lampard? Who would have thought that they would have been Champions League winners at the end of the season? Wow. Even when Thomas Tuchel came in and things started to look a lot better for them, people just, I don't think a lot of people really expected them to make it to the finals and win the whole thing. It's crazy. If you're a Chelsea fan, you must be ecstatic. And I genuinely am happy for Chelsea fans because, you spent a lot of money in the summer and, people started to banter you guys about it. You know what I mean? People really started to banter you guys about it. And with considering how the season started, to finish top 4 and win the Champions League, phenomenal season. Phenomenal season. Shout out to Thomas Tuchel. He is, first manager to make it to the finals back-to-back with 2 different teams. And this time he obviously wins it. Last season he didn't. In terms of some of the Chelsea players, Mason Mount, what a future he has. He is a special, special player. And to already accomplish such a great achievement at such a young age, it only just gives me hope for the future of his career. But the one Chelsea player I need to talk about, N'Golo Kante. N'Golo Kante is a legend of football. He has solidified himself as one of the greatest football players of all time, easily. Man of the match today, Champions League this year, Premier League titles with Leicester and Chelsea, winning the World Cup. Just the personification of a player who is a ball winner, somebody who runs every single inch of the pitch. There just isn't a player like him that can just do what he does the way he does it. He really has something special, and Chelsea are blessed to have him. Chelsea are blessed to have him because, I've said he's the greatest sort of defensive midfielder of this generation, easily, in my eyes. Above the likes of Casemiro, above the likes of even Busquets in my eyes. Honestly, I just, all those guys have achieved amazing things, don't get me wrong, but just nobody's done it like Kante. He is different. Just different. So a great game for Kante, a great game for Chelsea. Havertz obviously scored the winner, so I guess we got to give Havertz some praise. Chelsea's most expensive player ever. And there was a lot of pressure on him because the season started and he didn't look great. Didn't look great under Frank Lampard's tutelage. And he almost looked like a flop. Not even he looked like a flop. And Tuchel comes in and turns him around. And the same can be said for the likes of Rudiger. Rudiger wasn't even getting into the team when Lampard was there. And all of a sudden, Rudiger looks like one of the best defenders in English football at the moment. Tuchel's just turned his team around. He's helped so many of these players. And as much as I think Werner's a bum, under Tuchel, Werner could look like a much better striker next season, given the time. Like, he's turned Havertz into, a talent, because we all know the talent Havertz was. That's the reason why he was 70 mil. That's the reason why he was the most expensive player ever. But he's finally starting to show that now under Tuchel. And so props to Tuchel, man. Props to Chelsea. Abramovich was in the stands watching. It was fun to watch the celebrations, man. You could see what it meant to some of the young players, the likes of, Cho and Tammy Abraham and all them lot. To win such a massive trophy is crazy. The second one Chelsea's ever won. So, props to that team, props to that organisation. And hopefully they're going to back Tuchel in the transfer window now. They backed Lamps with 200 plus mil. I don't know if they'll pull out 200 mil again this summer, but, I definitely expect them to back Tuchel and get him whatever he wants because he deserves it. He 1,000,000% deserves it. Man City though, pain for Pep Guardiola, pain for Man City, pain for Sergio Aguero. In his last game ever at City, I tweeted, if you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter, 11-2K. I tweeted, I wanted to see Aguero just score a winner, score a winner in the 90-something minute, I wanted to hear Mahrez Aguero. Like, that's what I wanted. For the storyline, not because I wanted City to win. I prefer Chelsea to win, honestly. I do prefer Chelsea to win. Considering that City almost won the quadruple, and now they've only won 1 trophy, the Prem, I was happy with that, I'll say that. But yeah, to see Aguero go out like that was painful, man. I felt bad for him as much as, you know, he is a rival striker and he's caused one of the most painful moments in my, you know, life as a football fan. It was sad to see him sort of go out like that. You could see what it meant to him. But he's going to be going to Barca to play with his best friend Messi in it. So I guess there's a positive in that. In terms of Pep, first Champions League final with City, and he's bottled it. He's bottled it. Didn't start Fernandinho or Rodri, and it just didn't work. It didn't work. It did not work whatsoever. And pardon me, he'll be kicking himself. He'll be kicking himself. You know, he's one of the greatest managers of all time, but he made a mistake tonight, and he'll know that. What happens now for Chelsea moving forward? There's reports coming out that Mahrez is on the chopping block. There's reports coming out that Sterling's is on the chopping block. That wouldn't surprise me. If Sterling and Mahrez were on the transfer list, that would not surprise me because, you know, it's clear that Foden is going to be the guy to potentially play on the wing if needed. Obviously, Foden centrally is amazing as well, but he can play off the left incredibly well. And Pep has made it clear that he's a massive fan of Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres definitely is in Pep's plans for the future. And so I could expect to see Ferran Torres playing off the right next season a lot more. Just not space for Mahrez and Sterling. Just not space there for them. And, you know, of course, you always expect City to bring in reinforcements, and I'm sure they'll probably pick up a player who can play down the flanks or, you know, on one of the wings. So, yeah, what happens for those two players moving forward? I can't even envision where Sterling would go. Maybe I could see Mahrez moving somewhere, but Sterling, I don't even know where Sterling would go. What Spurs or something? Like, I don't even know where Sterling would go. Yeah, it's definitely a rough season ending for Man City because they win the Prem and that's fantastic, but the Champions League would have just been that bit better because they've never done it before. It's their first final, they've never done it, but things didn't go to plan for them. What's the next steps? Honestly, guys, I'm excited, but because I don't have a team in this, you know, it was a really good match of football. Let's not be wrong. That's one of the best finals we've had in football in a long time, genuinely. But I'm just sort of now just like, okay, that's done. Euros, what's up? Because we have the Euros this season, and I'll have some videos out about that. But I'm really excited about the Euros. I really want to just see what happens in the transfer market for both teams and for a lot of the other top teams in the Premier League. What does Liverpool do? What does Man United do? What does Chelsea and Man City do in the transfer market? Those are the big questions that we got to answer. I expect Chelsea to be in for a top striker, and so who will that be now? You know, a lot of players are now going to be looking at them winning the Champions League, and it's going to be a much more attractive destination. And so, you know, what happens there? That's a huge question to be answered. But regardless, what did you guys think of the final? Let me know in the comment section down below. It's been your boy 11 2UK. See you guys all soon.